Mulabwanji, everyone. Welcome to UmoyoTalks, the podcast based out of Lusaka, Zambia, where we talk to interesting people about topics related to life and health. And today we are deeply honored to have Namwila here in the studio. Namwila Sikasula, you're most welcome.
Thank you for having me. I've been looking forward to this.
Awesome, Namwila. So for those of you who may not be familiar with Namwila, she is a microbiologist, studied at UNZA, right? That's how it started. And then you got a deep interest in nutritional medicine and became a certified live blood analyst.
Right.
And really took a deep dive into natural health in general. I mean, how long have you been working within natural health now?
Close to 12 years now. Yeah, it's been a very good journey. I mean, very fulfilling as well. So it's a space that I just fell in love with right off the bat. So I'm looking forward to just getting into details of how it came about and also the journey of it all.
Amazing, because there aren't many people like you in Zambia who have studied and devoted their lives to natural health, things like nutrition and live blood. I mean, you're probably one of the only live blood practitioners here
in the country.
In the country, right? Yeah. I mean, when it comes to natural health in the past, it's more been traditional healers, right? Dealing with local herbs, but you deal with diet as well as lifestyle and herbs as well, but not just limited to the local herbs, a bit wider, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I've watched so many videos about traditional healers in the past, Ayurvedic healers. You know, this is something that's not new, but in Zambia, I think we're still adapting and trying to adjust to using natural and nutritional medicine. But in other countries, like in India is known for using natural medicine and herbs all the time, whether it's for skin, whether it's for high blood pressure or any ailment. So I feel like it was a space that wasn't really taken up, and it just came naturally because of my microbiology background. So I don't limit myself to using just herbal medicines, but also nutritional medicines as well. We don't usually call them medicines, but the common term is supplements. So I don't limit myself to just a specific type of supplement, but any kind of supplement that helps different ailments.
Yeah. But I have found in Zambia through my own work here as well, that because there have been these traditional healers here for hundreds of years or thousands of years, people are still familiar with that type of healing and are quite open to try it. Is that correct? Alongside their conventional medicine, or what have you found around that?
I don't think so. Hey?
No, you disagree?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I disagree. I think there's a big stigma around using natural medicine and herbal medicine to be particular. And I find that people don't even understand the difference between a herb and a nutritional supplement. So there's been a lot of education that I've had to do being in the space, trying to teach people the difference. And by stigma, I mean people look at it like witchcraft or going to a witch doctor, or look at it as a taboo.
So there's no like scientific evidence.
Yes, exactly. So it's not always. If you look at people in the village, for example, they have fantastic health. They're healthy, they're fit, they live long, and it's basically because of what they eat and because they don't quickly rush to using medications, conventional medicines as we call them. They usually use herbs or nutritional supplements that are found locally within their parameters. So you find that because they're using those type of medicines and going that route, illness tends to, or their bodies tend to be healthier. So illness doesn't really have a place to sit in their bodies. I like to call it like a place to sit. And it doesn't really manifest. But if you look at us in the city, we look at that kind of lifestyle as, people in the village use these herbs, I will just go to the doctor. Or people in the village use this supplement for a bite or a mosquito bite, I will just rub an ointment and it will go away. So that's kind of like the stigma that I've seen. But it's improving.
So more like if I'm a modern person, I will have modern medicine.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we're going to delve into all of this, but maybe tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into it, and what has inspired you to get into this field.
Yeah. I've always been passionate about science, about biology in particular. Like in school, for example, my best subject was biology. So naturally, I went into natural sciences in University of Zambia. And with microbiology, I remember the first lab session we had was to just view a drop of water under a microscope, and you'd be surprised at how much or how many bacteria are in just a tiny drop of water. So that just really blew my mind, and it opened this whole journey up to where I wanted to find out what bacteria does when it's in the body. How does it make us sick? What causes all this? Because when you have an infection, for example, you feel terrible. You feel pain, there's mucus buildup, there's all kind of things that happen to your body. So I really was just intrigued. I wanted to know what bacteria, parasites, fungi do in the body. And so for 4 years, I studied exactly that. First year, bacteria, second year, fungi, third year, parasites. And then, went into how the mechanism of action. So coming from that background and then coming across natural medicine and natural health, where the principle is it's the state of your body that matters, not a bacteria. That just now blew my mind also.
And also, I mean, 100% I agree with that, but also now this whole new field where bacteria, we made them out to be villains, but now we know that they're so important for our health as well, and we have to find a symbiotic relationship with them, Did they teach you any of that at university?
They did. I mean, someone may be listening and now be worrying about the water they drink, because I said a drop of water has thousands of bacteria. But we absolutely need bacteria to live, and bacteria needs us to live. So it's a symbiotic relationship, as you've said. Same with fungi. I mean, a lot of our food is processed with these microorganisms as well. So eventually, when you do the course of microbiology, you then go into how the good bacteria helps you, how the bad bacteria, if it grows in your body, can be washed away with certain medications. And what was so interesting is I kind of had to unlearn some of these things. Once I got into natural medicine, I had to unlearn some of these things, and as you've said it exactly, discover that they're not villains. These microorganisms are just here to coexist with us as well. So it was very interesting. I speak about it with a lot of passion because it was very interesting for me particularly. Yeah.
And what you said there as well, which was also a big thing for me when I understood this, that we can be two completely different people, right? But the same bacteria, let's say it's a bad bacteria, we're exposed to the same bad bacteria. One gets sick and the other doesn't get sick. So it's not actually the bacteria.
Exactly.
It's the state of the body, your internal state that you have created through diet, lifestyle, whatever it may be. That one state might be a great environment for that bacteria to take hold and do some damage, and the other one might be so strong and healthy that it just kind of, the bacteria has no chance to survive, right?
So, all this information is information that's just not readily out there. And this is what really drew my interest and made me get into health, and even more so into natural health, to the levels that I've reached. I started to research, I started to read up, I started to look up certain ailments and how they affect the body, and not only limited to how bacteria and microorganisms affect us, but also how our food affects us, how we live, what we eat, what we drink. And I actually reached a point where when I'm walking down a supermarket aisle and I look into people's trolleys, I'm like, that is a trolley full of sugar. And people don't know that, there's sugar in all this kind of food that's marketed to be healthy. And people don't know there's a ton of salt in food that's marketed to be healthy. So it was just, it came from a place of really loving science, and then also looking at how natural medicine works, and then also the satisfaction of having people feel better after they've taken certain supplements. I just get this overall satisfaction when someone comes to me and says, I've got high blood pressure, what can I do about it? I recommend some supplements, and they come back and say, you know what, the high blood pressure's gone. But
with that though, once again, just from working with natural health as well, one of the challenges, and I don't know if you would agree with this, but when you work with natural medicines, they are not as fast acting as some of the pharmaceutical drugs that are out there, obviously, you know, that work kind of instantaneously.
Of course.
And I find a lot of people, they may want those instantaneous results. They want that magic pill that's going to make the problem go away immediately. And how do you deal with that? I mean, how do you manage people's expectations in terms of like, you got to invest a little bit in order to get results through natural means? Maybe talk a little bit about that and the challenges.
So for someone to come and see me with their health issue, it already means they are either fed up with how they are living or how their health is, or they're really willing to do something about it more than just your average take a pill for it, you know. So I like to think of my clients or people I see as people who've read up and are well educated and are interested already in natural health. But also, I'm not someone who completely is against conventional medicine. Remember, this is a background that I'm coming from conventional medicine already. So I don't completely shun conventional medicine. I encourage people to use them side by side. That's why sometimes natural medicine is called alternative or supplementary therapy, because this is something that you use in addition to whatever it is that you're already doing.
And also, I guess that if you have a critical case where you need to make changes instantaneously, or you know, there might be a threat to the patient's life, then modern conventional medicine can be very helpful, but that doesn't mean that you can't do some of the natural things alongside, because I mean, if you're just popping those pills, you're going to probably be popping them from the rest of your life, you know, whereas with natural medicine, with what you're doing, aren't you giving people a chance to regain their health?
Exactly. So take, for example, someone that has diabetes. The first thing the doctor will tell you is change your diet, and then they'll give you the necessary medication to take for your diabetes. But what really am I supposed to do to change my diet? You know, those are questions that are left unanswered when you're in the hospital or the clinic. And that's where we come in as natural medicine practitioners to answer that question, you know, to tell you, cut out this, or increase this or increase that. Most people will think, you know, taking, for example, Coca-Cola Zero when you're diabetic is not harmful, when it actually is, because it's Coca-Cola Zero is marketed a certain way. So, I mean, nothing against Coca-Cola, but they have their marketing strategies and they have their own way of marketing their products. But it may not be right for a person who is diabetic, whether it's a Coke Zero or a normal Coca-Cola. So you find that the unanswered questions that you have in the doctor's office are the answer. You know, you find the answers in the natural medicine space.
Yeah, and also, you know, a doctor generally, and I think definitely here in Zambia as well, there's a lot of load on them in terms of the number of patients that they have to see, and to discuss diet and changing your lifestyle, you need time. I mean, it takes time to go through these things. First, uncover what are they doing right, what are they doing wrong, and then making all the recommendations and stuff. So, I mean, a typical consultation with you, how much time do you spend with clients, and how many times do they have to come to you in order to, I mean, obviously it depends on the condition, but generally, how often do people come? So
a typical consultation is about an hour, and in that hour we break down into, you know, discussing what the patient or the client is experiencing. Then we go into the supplements they can take, and then the dietary and lifestyle changes that they need to make in addition to taking those supplements. And also I like to hold my client's hand along the journey, because it's not a one-day change, as we said already. So if it takes 4 weeks for your acne to clear, for example, I will be with you along that 4 weeks. I mean, you can ask as much questions, we can go back and forth, but the initial consultation is about an hour.
So some of the viewers or listeners may not know this, but Namwila back in the day was she was the clinic manager and head therapist at the Umoyo Natural Health Clinic, where you did amazing work. And one of the things that we did back at the Umoyo Natural Health Clinic was that to get people onto a healthier lifestyle and get them to kind of see changes more quickly, to accelerate the process, we usually put them on a cleansing program initially, just to get a bit of acceleration and clean out the body so that the body can heal a bit more quickly afterwards. Is that something that you still help people with, or do you just make smaller changes to start with?
A bit of both. There are clients that are willing to go on a full detox, and I would guide them through that full detox or full body cleanse. And then there are clients that just need to make 1 or 2 changes in addition to what they're taking from the hospital. So I deal with a bit of both.
Okay. Yeah. And so we've talked a little bit about how you got into all of this, but what is your main focus? What is your main passion when it comes to natural health? And what are the main kind of conditions that you tend to deal with and have expertise in?
Mainly what I focus on is what I've researched extensively about. So, for example, one of my main focus is fertility. That's something I did some extensive research about. And, when you talk about research, it's not just reading 1 or 2 books. This is extensive research, going out there, going on the ground, talking to people, finding out, seeing one-on-one clients, and also seeing some, dietary changes or lifestyle, reading books about it. So fertility is a big one for me.
Both for men and women?
And women, yeah.
And is that a big problem here in Zambia?
It is. Like I said before, we've seen a lot of improvement in the health space generally. But I think something as simple as quitting a cigarette, if you're a man and you smoke, would increase your fertility, like tenfold. People don't know that. Something as simple as taking a zinc supplement, if you're a man, to increase your fertility, people don't know that. So that's why I got so interested in studying fertility or researching about fertility in the natural medicine space, because there's so many little things, little adjustments that people don't know about, that someone just needs to tell them. Yeah.
But do you find that often the blame is put on the female in the society?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. It's very interesting because blame always goes on to the female. Of course, there's stuff that women can do, and there's also conditions that women experience. But definitely big blame on the women.
So you got to get the husband in there as well.
Exactly. And I think also we're seeing a lot of cases of high blood pressure. So high blood pressure is something that I have also researched about a lot. And now it's so funny because, high blood pressure was mainly for people that are overweight or elderly, but now we're seeing even people as young as 18.
And what do you contribute that to? Why is this happening?
I generally think because, our diets, lifestyles have changed over the years.
Specifically here in Zambia
here
as well.
In Zambia, And we're eating so much refined foods. You can't talk about high blood pressure without talking about what we're eating. And that's another thing that gets me so passionate and, interested about researching about it, because it's also nutritional imbalances in the body. Are your potassium levels right? How are your sodium levels? Once again, the doctor will tell you reduce salt, but why are you telling me to reduce salt? So those are the questions that I tend to answer, because we need to balance out that ratio of nutrients.
And sometimes people need to understand the why to be really motivated to make those changes, because here in Zambia, we love to put salt on our food, right? It's, it's like the number one thing.
Even before you taste the food.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like, and also people don't ask why enough, when it comes to their health.
And that's taking responsibility for your health.
Exactly. People don't ask why enough. And I'm one of those people that wants to know why. I hate being uncomfortable. So if I have a headache, I hate it. If I have, like a little arm pain, I hate it. So I always want to know, why am I experiencing this headache? Why am I experiencing pain? Or why do I have this cough, what's happening in my body? And people don't just ask that question enough, you know.
And I noticed that when I talk to people as well, like maybe they've been sick and they've gone to the doctor and said, I got an injection. Well, what injection did you get? You know, and people don't ask the question, and that's a real problem. You know,
exactly. Yeah,
because if you don't know what was wrong and what's being done, then there's very little you can do yourself, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm the worst patient because in the hospital,
You're the best patient, Namwila. You ask the best questions.
Because I ask, why are you giving this? What's this for? Why aren't I given this? What's this going to do? So I absolutely always ask when it comes to my health, and I think people should ask why. Yeah.
And that's just I guess people get intimidated by the doctor in the white coat.
Yes.
And traditionally here you don't ask questions, so it's just changing that mindset.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so how do you stay healthy? Do you practice what you preach, or?
Yeah, there are few things that I swear by. Okay, number one is I don't do sugar.
At all?
At all.
Are you serious?
Yeah, at all.
Wow.
Yeah, and this has been for years.
That's incredible, because at the moment, I, together with some girlfriends, we're doing a no sugar challenge for a month.
Yeah.
And I even got the general manager of Umoyo to join us. So we're doing it together, which is great. But it just once again shows me how difficult it is. I mean, it is in everything. So now what? You just don't have a sweet tooth anymore?
Well, when I say I don't do sugar, I don't do sugar in my tea.
Okay.
I don't sweeten anything that I eat, whether it's cereal, my tea, or anything. I don't. Of course, this is another thing that probably needs to be discussed, is that sugar is hidden in a lot of other foods.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Like I said before, it's in your trolley. It's in everything that's refined, you know.
It's in your bread.
Yes.
It's in your ketchup. It's in your rusks.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
So, of course, I haven't quit sugar in all refined foods. They're all around us, but I've taken the first I've taken the first step to quit the added sugar in my tea, in my coffee, and in my cereal, or anywhere that I need sugar. And I also, number two, swear by taking omega-3 supplement. I take it every single day. I find that if I don't, then I have migraines. Then I have, headaches, unexplained headaches, or I'm just not as mentally as focused or concentrating as much.
Maybe maybe some people are not familiar with what omega-3 is. Do you want to explain what that is?
So omega-3 is an essential fatty acid that is required by your body. We don't naturally produce it. So it's taken as a supplement. You can find it in your food, especially in cold water fish. But we're not so lucky in Zambia to have that variety of fish. So beautiful scientists have come up with capsules that you can take on a daily basis. And also it's phenomenal for the body because it thins out your blood. It helps you concentrate. It's basically brain food, and also helps you to balance your blood pressure and also your weight as well. Yeah.
And you've just reminded me, I need to get some omega-3 supplements for my kids as well, for their brain development.
Exactly.
I haven't been giving them that.
So I've cut out sugar. I take my omega-3s. I try to stick to all natural skincare as well. I've got nothing chemical on my dressing table. So with that also, I've developed a brand of natural skincare products.
We almost forgot about that. You have your own natural skincare range called Awane.
Exactly.
And what does Awane mean?
Awane means for us.
For us, okay. And how did that come about? Why did you create that range?
Basically because the number one thing people were coming to see me about was their skin.
Okay. Yeah. Breakouts and pimples and
pimples, whiteheads, blackheads, pigmentation, and also, again, I would see people use tons of skincare products and they're still not asking why, and they don't know how it works, and they'll just put it on. And we strip away all these chemicals, feed the skin with the nutrition it needs, and it does amazing things for your skin.
But then also, I'm sure with your background and what you work with, feeding the skin from the inside as well?
Exactly. So everything that's in my skincare range is ingredients that you can actually take and eat. So moringa, neem, turmeric, these are natural products that are phenomenal for the skin, but also for the body. And that's another point that people don't realize. If you want to have clear skin, it all starts from the inside.
Yeah, you can't eat processed crap food
Exactly.
and expect to have beautiful skin.
Yeah, and that's where I also fell in love with that aspect of natural health as well, because people would come to me with skin problems, but when we get into conversations, you discover this person has bowel problems. They don't go to the toilet that regularly. You find that this person has insulin resistance, so that's why they're getting all this breakouts. So when you delve into and have a conversation with people, you find that it's because of an underlying cause. Yeah. And with natural medicine, the beauty about it is you always target the underlying cause. Yeah. So everything else tends to improve.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, so amazing. So you work on the inside as well as the outside, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
When we started, when I introduced you, I said, that you are certified live blood analyst. Mm-hmm. Maybe talk a little bit about that. Yeah. What is that, and what can people uncover by coming to you to do a therapy like that?
So live blood analysis is a simple assessment of your blood under a powerful microscope, and this microscope is attached to a screen, so you can see your own blood together with me as I analyze it. We don't add anything to the blood. We don't stain it. It's just pure capillary blood drawn from your finger, put under the microscope, a light microscope, and then we get to see what kind of unbalances or imbalances are in your body, and all sorts of nutritional things that are maybe off in your body through your blood. With live blood analysis, you can uncover so much. With blood in general, blood work, you can uncover so much. So for example, you can see how much toxicity you have in the body. You can see how your digestive system is working. You can see if you have inflammation in your body just through your blood, a simple drop of blood.
And is that just like in this now, like the present now moment, or can you also see historically, like
historically, yeah. So why it's called live blood analysis is because we're viewing the blood live with nothing added to it. But also there's a second stage of the blood analysis where we allow the blood to dry, and that's the stage where we can now see things that have been built up health-wise in your body over the years. So we can see your skin, for example. If your skin is toxic, we can see all sorts of bowel problems, or even inflammation, again in that second stage of the blood analysis. So it's a therapy that really wows people because they get to see with you their own blood, and they get to see just how much dirt and muck is circulating.
And then that can form the basis of the program you recommend to them.
Exactly.
And I imagine they can come back and see the transformation.
Yes. So
how long does it take to really see a difference in your blood?
4 weeks.
4 weeks of changing your
diet,
or
your lifestyle, taking certain supplements. So if you come to me and you say, I have diabetes, and we do a live blood analysis, and I recommend a diet plan for you and some supplements, we typically would do another blood analysis at the end of 4 weeks just to see the improvement. And then from there, we'd either add or subtract to whatever recommendations I gave you.
No, great. I find that this space of natural health and nutrition and diet, it's, we uncover so much research all the time. And now you have people advocating for one type of diet, and then you have people advocating for the complete opposite type of diet. And they can show you research that supports it. And I'm just like, for example, my mother, who's been vegan for many, many years, have now switched suddenly, and now she's trying a carnivore diet, which is a complete 180 switch,
Yeah.
And when she shows me some of the videos and what she's learned, I mean, it's very compelling. What kind of diet, if any, do you recommend? And what do you say to people who are confused by all the information that's out there? How do you know what to do?
Yeah. It's funny you ask because, we were just talking about how butter was bad in the past, and now people in the nutritional
It's a
space,
health food.
are embracing butter. They put it in their coffee. They put it, everywhere. So the basic rules.
As long as it's from happy, healthy cows.
Cows, exactly.
That
This
eat
is
grass.
butter, proper butter.
Proper butter, yeah.
That we're talking about. So with, there are a few golden rules that in your diet that you need to stick by. Obviously, drinking a certain amount of water, that's a golden rule. Cutting out refined carbohydrates, that's a golden rule.
Or refined foods in general.
In general, exactly. That's a golden rule. And you find that when you talk to people, they don't even know what refined foods are. So they would generally think your white bread is okay, because we've grown up with it. When you can actually eat brown bread or the whole wheat alternatives. So there's certain golden rules that we would go by in the diet. It's never easy, especially if you've been eating this your whole life, and then you come across this kind of new information. And also, as you've said, trying to pick out from all sorts of information that's on the news that you see trending, all these diets that are available. But there are basic principles when it comes to your diet that we stick by. Also, when it comes to, red meat, white meat, there's a big debate on, should I just eat white meat? Should I just eat red meat? I tend to explain what's so bad about red meat. I get into those details. So those are certain golden rules that we follow when it comes to the diet. Those are set in stone. It doesn't matter what trending diet is out there. These will always be rules that we need to just live by to feel better and to live healthier. Yeah.
But people, when they come to you, you will answer all those questions.
I will. I know some people are probably thinking, what is so bad about red meat?
Yeah.
Come and see me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe if we look at you as a person, we've talked a lot about you as a practitioner and helping others, but you as a person, what health challenges have you been through, and what have you learned through that? What has been your journey when it comes to health?
So most recently I had a baby, and I went through, a very difficult pregnancy, also a very difficult birth because he was premature, and then also very difficult postpartum period. And, being in the health space, people are coming to you and they want help and they want to know. And then now suddenly you're the one who needs the help, So with my pregnancy, I had everything textbook. I had, nausea. I was very nauseous. I had headaches, migraines all the time. And then suddenly I had high blood pressure, which went into preeclampsia, and then I had to give birth at 7 months pregnant.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So very premature.
Yes, very premature. So basically, I've been talking to people about high blood pressure for 12 years, and then all of a sudden I have high blood pressure during my pregnancy. So that called for me to also change my diet, also drink more water, follow the golden rules that I was talking about during that particular time, which I had been doing. But, with preeclampsia, you can't really predict, and it just comes from a buildup. And then when I had the baby,
when you made those changes, did you notice? Did it help? Did it make a difference? Or
I would feel better.
You would feel.
I would feel better generally. So, for example, migraines would reduce if I cut back on certain foods. When I feel okay, maybe I had a bit too much bread yesterday, so cut back for a week or two. It's not very easy when you're pregnant because you have cravings and you're dealing with all that stuff, but when you make those small changes, you feel better generally. And then also with natural medicine, people don't know that it tends to also help with the mental health space, because when I had my baby, I immediately went into postpartum anxiety. And postpartum anxiety is not talked about as much as postpartum depression.
So it's a completely different thing.
It's a completely different thing. So with anxiety, you're literally feelings of either you want to fly or fight. You have adrenaline, you have your arm goes numb, pins and needles. You feel like doom or trouble is lurking somewhere. And these are emotions and things that people go through all the time. 1 in 4 moms probably has had or experienced anxiety.
And probably not diagnosed.
And not even known what it was. Yeah. And I immediately knew what it was. And with supplements like valerian, with 5-HTP, ashwagandha, with, things that come with the natural medicine health space like meditation, I was able to overcome that. And that's what people need to be told. It's treatable, A. It's treatable either conventionally or naturally. That's B. And there are supplements that you can take even in the natural health space that can help you get back to feeling yourself again as a new mom. Yeah. So, I mean...
And that goes back to, once again, asking questions, right? If you don't feel right, ask.
Talk to someone.
Get
help. Exactly. So now I can safely sit with new moms, postpartum moms who are even going through postpartum depression, anxiety, and that's just like opened up a new chapter as well, and talk to them about that as well.
That's incredible, Namwila. Probably not easy.
No. No, but it is... I would do it all over again because the baby is a big, bouncy, healthy boy now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And how long did it take for you to overcome this postpartum?
You need to take your time.
Yeah.
You need to take your time. Generally, if you're seeing someone about it, they would tell you around about 6 months. Sometimes it lingers. Some moms are luckier. It may take a shorter period of time. Some people may take even longer, but generally 6 months. Something that you need to take your time with. And also, I think a lot of people are talking more openly about mental health now, and there are so many vitamin deficiencies associated with mental health. So those are the kind of things that you need to see a natural health practitioner about. Which vitamin deficiencies, even just taking a simple vitamin B supplement can do wonders for your health and your mental health.
Absolutely, but then that also ties back to the importance of eating a great diet, and not practicing negative lifestyles that deplete these vitamins and minerals from your body at an alarming rate, managing your stress, getting enough sleep, all of these things that help, it all kind of comes together. It's not just one thing.
Exactly, and also we were talking earlier, even just a cold shower in the morning is like the ultimate antidepressant, or just staying active. We've talked about eating healthy already. So it's kind of the world that we live in now. It's a must for us to bring in natural health.
I noticed that so much with myself. I mean, I've been in this space now for many, many years, and I'm very aware of what I'm eating. I've relaxed a little bit in terms of how I eat, but I notice immediately if I don't get my exercise, it affects my mental health. I get more stressed. I'm not as happy. So I notice that immediately, and then I'm a big believer in the cold showers or ice baths or jumping in a cold pool, because I feel the difference that it makes. I can wake up and not really be that excited about the day, and I have a cold shower, and
then automatically,
incredible. It's from 1 second to the next. Everything is just like, let's go, So there's a lot that people can do, and also, we've talked a lot about diet, lifestyle, supplements, and things like that, but even beyond that, connection with other people. If you're feeling a bit down, I do this, or I put on like my favorite song that I know is uplifting. You dance for 5 minutes and then you feel like freaking amazing.
Exactly.
So it all comes together. But I'm sure you also help people figure out things like that they can do.
Most recently, I have been seeing people with anxiety, mental health issues, and it's also, once again, phenomenal just to see how much better they do. Sometimes it can even take up to a year. I will be seeing this person recommending products, supplements that they can use. And then, if we compare how they are now and where we started, even just the energy is amazing. Yeah.
But it starts with the physical, I feel,
Yes,
if you get the physical right and you can build that energy in the body, then the other things become a bit more easier. But it starts with the physical because we have this physical body, we gotta take care of it. 100%. Namwila, it's been such a pleasure having you here and to have this awesome chat with you. Just for people who are interested in what you do and might want to get in contact, what is the best way to find you?
So I do consultations under Awane Wellness now, and you can call me on 0977 359960. So consultations are an hour long, as I've said. We can schedule for that and then build up to your health journey. And also, you can follow the pages on Instagram. It's Awane Skin, and on Facebook is Awane Wellness.
Okay, and we'll make sure to put those links in the show notes as well. So thank you, Namwila. Before we end, is there a final thought perhaps that you want to share?
Yeah, I would just like to basically encourage anyone listening, there is a solution for every problem, especially in the health space. So talk to someone, do your research. Google is not always the best option, but have conversations about some of these things and, get ready to kickstart your health journey. It's never too late.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be on a Monday.
No. Or after New Year's.
Yeah, exactly.
It can be any time.
Yeah. There's no time as the present,
Yeah.
as they say. Yeah. Thank you once again, Namwila.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
To all our listeners and viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you found this helpful and informative, and we hope to see you soon again. Take care. Bye-bye.
Hi, my name is Edna Sondash, the founder of Tide by Nature. Subscribe to Umoyo's YouTube channel.